I'm genuinely excited as things stand. This current 4-3-1-2 has absolutely been cooking in Elite Division. I have no tactics set up. I have no adjustments to anything, literally just the 4-3-1-2. I'm going to go to squad selector. I'm going to go to my main account. And what we're going to do, let's delete the 4-5-1. Let's delete the 4-2-2-2. Although it did help me in Weekend League. Before you guys look at anything or copy any codes, we have to adjust everything, of course. Here we are. Literally nothing has changed. I don't know what it is about this. I don't know why it's doing so well. Maybe I'm deluded. I don't know. Let's find ourselves a plus box to box. We've got MLS there. I honestly wouldn't mind Kimmich at right back, and then maybe Thuram, yeah, because he's got that box to box as well. I'm honestly going to play Thuram here and Hullet a bit more advanced. We're going to play Xavi Simons as the cam. That is like a complete non-negotiable. I'm going to roll with Jairzinho and Chiesa up top. I'm very tempted to try out Lautaro Martinez as well. If you guys had seen that previous video we made, he was absolutely cooking in the team. Isn't it crazy how Ribery is basically mid? We'll put Noah Lang in the reserves. Let's put Martinez up top. Put him up top with Jairzinho. Bro, this is mad. I'm definitely, with this team, I'll get rank 1 easily for La Liga. I'm that confident. Now, there may be some things to adjust later in this video that I find to be helpful, but this is literally how we are set up. Actually, let me... yeah, sweeper keeper. Okay, that's it. Literally, just the 4-3-1-2. And at this stage of the game, everybody should literally be a plus. At worst, a plus in each player role or position. If you want cheap coins, head over to Eldorado GG. They're currently selling 1 million coins for £13, which is perfect for team of the season. They have multiple vendors, as you can see on the screen right now, all with their own reviews. They also have a live chat service where you can communicate with the people that you're buying coins from. These are literally the cheapest, safest coins on the market, and make sure to use the code AIDEN at checkout. It just feels like currently there's always someone to pass forward to. I don't even know how to like verbally demonstrate what I'm seeing right now with this tactic. But for me, especially in the midfield, look, there's always a player. Oh gosh, what's happened there? I tried a layoff pass, but I guess the game bugged. And then, look, even defensively, just the positioning is... that's offside, innit? Yeah, unlucky. The positioning is just nuts defensively. Just, bro, every passing lane out wide through the middle is basically shut off. This is stupid how good it is. Again, always someone to pass to. Cut back. 2-0, Bob's your uncle. This might be the one, man. Genuinely, this might be the one. This is the only tactic where I feel like I haven't had to run a high depth or really adjust anything. This is unbelievable. Here we go. It's too easy. It's just too easy, man. The two strikers up top as well. I never see anybody using this formation either. That's the crazy part. There's just always someone there. 4-3-1-2. It's only because it looks a lot like the 4-1-2-1-2, I guess. Oh my God. The sauce on that pass. Yo, genuinely took me about 10 years to find another game of Elite Division. I literally just read an entire dissertation on how Man United is finished after last night. And that's when we found a game. After I finished like reading a flipping like 2,000 character, 6-paragraph dissertation on how Man United is finished after last night. You know what? Yeah, they might have to start doing a thing where if someone can't find an opponent, you just got to shift. Is that Upamecano? You just got to shift to making them face a CPU on a certain difficulty. Based on the division, you know, you get to change the difficulty. So if it's like elite, I don't know, legendary, don't do ultimate though, because no one can survive ultimate. It's stupid. Nice goal. Yeah, this 4-3-1-2's cooking, man. But I'm just, you know what? Let's do a little side bit as well whilst we're making this video, because I love to talk about football. I want to talk about football, but I don't know if I have the wherewithal to constantly talk about it in a space where I may have to post and speak on football in general every day. Let's talk about the Europa League. And let's first of all just say GG's to Tottenham. I do support Arsenal Football Club. I wouldn't say I'm on the side of salty because it's a Europa League. It's a huge honour. It's the Europa League. I think if Arsenal were at the stage that, you know, we were like a few years ago before we started competing and everything, like really bad, and we were trying to win the Europa League and like we got eliminated by a team in the quarters and then Tottenham went on to win it, I would be fuming. But just let them enjoy the trophy. Just let them enjoy their parade and everything. I wanted to talk about, whilst we look at these beautiful tactics, the financial implications after what I've just read about what's going to happen to Manchester United. And, you know, I made a couple TikToks on it, but they were quite vulgar. And I was like raging in the videos and they did get taken down. And I received 2 strikes and I'm 1 strike away from a ban. So I have to be very careful. Manchester United are going to have to make more player sales than initially anticipated. Let me explain it all to you very quickly. If anybody's played Football Manager here, you will know that when it's time to plan for the market, you know, you have a meeting and everything. There's basically like 3 tabs. The first tab is basically players that you want to let go based on the most optimal result at the end of the season. Players that you want to get rid of are in that tab, right? And then in the second tab, you know what? Just for example's sake, let's just say in that first tab, you've got Alejandro Garnacho. You may have Harry Maguire in there, you know, Luke Shaw's, your Casemiro's. In the second tab, you would then have the personnel that you could sell, but also Amorim likes. So players that he wouldn't exactly lobby for a move out of Manchester United. So players that are capable of, you know, churning out a result, rotation players, right? Then in the third tab, what you would have is the non-negotiables of the players that you have that you want to stay, right? And this is where the true dilemma comes in for Manchester United, because prior to the Europa League final, as all clubs do, as all staff members do that have to do with transfers, the transfer market team, they have to write up basically a hypothesis on how they want the transfer window to go per the best possible result. And the best possible result for Manchester United is winning the Europa League. So they would have chalked up their estimations based on winning the Europa League, which I'm sure no matter what club you're at, no matter how long the other team hasn't won a trophy, no matter how long your team has won a trophy, it's your job as a transfer team to plan a strategy going into the window with the best possible outcome at the end of the season. For some clubs, that could be that you just about survive in the league. For some clubs, it might just be that easy peasy lemon squeezy, you just missed out on the title, like Arsenal, for example. You always have to prepare for the best case scenario, especially if you've had a bad season, right? So Man United would have been planning for a summer window where they got rid of those players in the first bracket, the ones that, you know, are surplus to requirements. And then, you know, they would have been planning like how it affects PSR, the player sales, how it's going to affect them in the transfer window, you know, the players they can buy and whatnot, the caliber of players. Not only that, but they were also planning for a Champions League caliber window, which means that the profile of players that Amorim wanted were Champions League quality players. That's out the window. But here's the main issue. In terms of outgoings, Man United are completely screwed with PSR now. And what you're going to have now is you're going to sell all those players in bracket 1 that are surplus to requirements. And then the middle bracket is going to contain those players that, like I said, Amorim wouldn't be against keeping. In the current state that Manchester United's in, if you've got the players in the middle that Amorim wouldn't mind keeping but aren't too dazzling to draw in a good transfer fee, you're essentially going to get a domino effect where you're now going to have to go to that third tab of players that Amorim doesn't want to get rid of and at least get rid of 1 or 2 of them in order to just comply with PSR rules. We're not even talking about having a sustainable window. You're going to have to start selling players that you don't want to sell, that Amorim will want to hold up on to as a part of his project in order to just comply with PSR rules, let alone buy any other personnel. So you're going to have to get rid of some pillars at that football club. And that's not good for Manchester United. And that's the main reason that this Europa League was more than, that's a penalty again, oh my days, it's a pen fest. That is why this Europa League, for me, was more than a trophy, bro. It was way more than a trophy. It was about the future of both clubs, and whatever club lost, their club was essentially dead in the morning. Yeah, you know, GG's, you know, on winning your first trophy in 17 years, but it was important for Tottenham Hotspur to win that because of the future of their club. 100%. Like, the trophy is a nice thing. It's a big thing that Tottenham have, they've won their first trophy in a long time. But I feel like the future of the club was also equally as important as well. Because if they didn't win this against Man United, it was over. Manchester United have been abysmal for so long, and now they actually, for the first time, genuinely don't have a way out. It's not as if they have good personnel on high-level contracts or long contracts like Chelsea do, where even if they're poor, clubs will still have to pay a chunk lump sum to get someone like a Bruno Fernandes or whatever. No, the personnel at their club is terrible, as well as them having to go through these PSR issues. So there's not even any anchors or true pillars at the club anymore, other than Bruno Fernandes, who's probably going to be on his way out. Anyway, man, those are literally my raw thoughts, as well as some gameplay and some 4-3-1-2 custom tactics. For those of you who haven't seen the code, here is the code again. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the future of Manchester United in the comment section down below, because to me, I'm not going to lie, it's looking bleak.